All right, I'm not gonna leave you go into Christmas without me telling you a story how I fucked over like 35 Santa Claus, but it got me out of jail, so it was worth it. Let me explain what happened. I was minding my business, coming out of a Christmas party. Everything was fine, you know. It was one of those things like after work type stuff, you know. Your ties in your inside your jacket pocket, and I'm a little bit drunk, whatever. And I see just like a smash brawl of stupid shit, people being grabbed and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm not participating, but I will watch. So as I go over there and I see everything fucking happening, it was like a bunch of cops just grabbing a bunch of Santa Claus. Like it was grabbing a bunch of fucking Santa Claus. Like these were wild looking Santa Claus, whatever. But there was a lot of pushing and shoving and shit like that. And one of them guys on the side, well, no, it wasn't a Santa Claus, but one of the guys on the side, he pushed over to me. So when I pushed back, there's a lady cop, fucking bitch. Lady cop, she's like, grab him. I'm like, you for real? So anyway, I got grabbed. So they take us downtown to Central Booking. We didn't even go to the court yet. It was just straight to Central Booking. So I'm there down in the Tombs. And all of a sudden, I saw something I never seen in the Tombs ever in my life. Wall to wall packed Santa Claus. Fat Santa Claus, black Santa Claus, Chinese Santa Claus, all kinds of Santa Claus. There was a Santa Claus that was even in a wheelchair. It was all kinds of, but these are all criminal Santa Clauses. These are the kind that come out with their own bucket. Like, yo, dog, give me $5. My reindeer's hungry. That type of shit. So I'm down there with all these fucking Santa Claus. And I'm like, the fuck is this? It's fucking weird. I know I didn't do shit, so I'm gonna get a desk repair stick and get the fuck out. But holidays and seeing the judge. So all of a sudden, the clock is ticking closer and closer to Christmas, where the real fat Santa Claus comes. Not for nothing, but Rudolph, that motherfucker sounds like a sexual deviant. Like, not for nothing. He has his nose is glowing. He had no friends, but all of a sudden he wanted to hang out with everybody. I'm just trying to tell you something. Rudolph has some issues, but here's the deal. So I'm in this thing, I'm in there, like all the walls. I'm telling Santa Claus to back the fuck up. Like I'm on my bench space, whatever. Some Santa Clauses are assholes and stuff like that. Some are talking about like, they're not gonna get out and shit like that. This is during Giuliani's time, so like for real. All of a sudden, the assistant district attorney under Robert Morgenthau, may that cocksucker burn in hell, comes downstairs and goes, you know what? I'm gonna fuck these people's Christmas up. Ain't nobody getting out. So I heard that shit and I'm like, I ain't staying in this motherfucker. No fucking way. I am not staying with these fucking Santa Clauses for like 3 or 4 days in here. So I move over to where the cell like reaches by the window where they're talking to the public defenders and the attorneys. And I turn around and I go, yeah, it's crazy. These Santa Clauses. The shit they're saying about the district attorney, that sweet old man, that's really fucking wrong. And everybody used to look at Bob Morgenthau like, oh my God, he's so great. And he was the evilest some motherfucker in the world. If I bump into him in the afterlife, I'm gonna put my foot up his ass. That's besides the point. Evil son of a bitch. And his fucking wife, Lucinda, may you fucking slip on an ice cube this year. Anyway, I know you're old, but fuck it. At the end of the day, you gotta go too. So I turn around and I'm like, yeah, they're talking about like fucking the Bob Morgan. He should die. Why is he still alive? That miserable bag. It was like a Santa crackdown in New York. And this ADA is like, for real, like I'm in a fucking suit. Like I put my tie back on. Like I'm a fucking inmate. But I made myself look like a fucking attorney. But yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. These guys got a bunch of charges on them. These guys talking about like, they're actually talking over there about against the DA. So he's looking at me, he's like, wait a minute. It finally dawned on this motherfucker. I'm on the other side of the bars. And I'm like, yeah, no, I got grabbed with this entire suite. These guys were like getting grabbed and everything. He's like, you were grabbed? I'm like, yeah, I was just getting out of the office. And as I started walking down, they started grabbing all these Santa Clauses on 34th Street. And he's like, all right, let's get you out of here because these guys, they're not getting out of here for Christmas. And I'm like, I agree with you. And Mr. Morgenthau is the nicest, sweetest man ever. Let me tell you something. They did it the fucked up way. They lined us all up. They put me in chains tied to a bunch of Santa Clauses and they brought us upstairs. So it looked like a fucking reindeer convention. So all of a sudden, as we're moving, next, they turn around, it's like, The people say the New York versus Louis Bravo and what's it fucking was it an indictment? Yeah, there was no grand jury yet. All of a sudden, it was like, how do you plead? I'm like, not guilty. So the AD on the other side calls over to the public defender, and he's like, we can get rid of this. We know what happened here. And the judge is like, what exactly happened here? So I just turned around because these miserable Santa Claus motherfuckers are robbing fucking innocent people. I was like, these evil Santa Clauses were robbing innocent people, and I was trying to put a stop to it, and they attacked me. I'm actually chained to these motherfuckers. It almost started a brawl. Craziness broke out, and at the end of the day, the ADA, the Assistant District Attorney, he's like, Your Honor, we do not want to press charges on Mr. Bravo. When the judge is looking at my rap sheet like, yeah, I think we might want to hold Mr. Bravo. I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Jingle bells, motherfucker. You don't want to do it. So anyway, the judge turns around and he says, okay, we're going to let you go, and I'm going to issue some, what was it, community service or some shit like that. I fucking never went to that stuff. Whatever. They never followed up with it anyway. As I'm walking out, the judge turns around and goes, that's it, we're closed for the holidays. All these fucking Santa Claus, they erupted in violence. Like, they choose darkness. It's funny because in the court, they got the white shirt court officers in the night. They had the blue and the white. They couldn't handle these motherfuckers. Santa Claus was going crazy. Santa Claus chose violence that night. So as I'm walking the fuck out of night court, which night court in New York City back then, that shit was unreal. So I go downstairs. When I go downstairs by the revolving door, where they bring everybody out like, I didn't do anything. This is wrong. Call Channel 7. Who do I bump into coming out of there? Fucking Benny, Mike, and BDO. They got grabbed on something else, but they got released. So all of a sudden, now we're downtown. I survived the whole Santa Claus indictment, and we're together laughing. I'm telling them, no, you don't get it. This fucking Santa Claus. Yeah, we saw some Santa Claus. We don't know what's going on. That night, we went to one of the diners. We were just dying fucking laughing. It was the funniest thing ever. And Benny was telling a story about one time he got a job as a Santa Claus, but he didn't have big boots. So what he had to do is turn around, and he got black garbage bags, and he wrapped them around his Timberlands, and everything was fine until he went outside and there was ice everywhere. Christmas for me, I will always remember the time I got locked up with Santa Claus. All I can tell you at the end of the day, I wish you a merry, merry fucking Christmas. My last remaining things on life that I have to do is assist all of you getting a real life Christmas gift, which is I plan to help us all together navigate this bullshit, make our money with XRP and some other coins, and then be done. That will make me happy. You can't put that under a Christmas tree, but you can take it in your soul and move on. I love you motherfuckers more than you will ever fucking know. Merry Christmas.